Okay, let's get started. Before we jump into our school stuff, let's talk about personal or your classroom stuff, anything. We're going to go around and do rosebud thorn. So, a great thing that happened to you, something you're looking forward to, and then something that was tough. Okay, so I know you're all probably really tired from a long day of classes and teaching. And so really what today we're going to do is reiterate what you went over in SPT class and FOP class and give you time to practice and then work on your own. I want to make sure we're all on the same page and you can all write solid lesson plans for tonight. And so before we jump in, I want you all to take 30 seconds to think about one of your most memorable classes or teachers throughout your educational career and quickly write down a few bullet points as to why they made lasting impacts on you, what that teacher's classroom looked like, whether it was routines, activities, your classmates, or whatnot. And then we're going to go around and share for a second and use that as kind of a jumping off point for our conversation today. Okay, let's share. Seems you all mentioned something about the class being interesting, really engaging, keeping you on your toes, and that kind of ties back to what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about classroom activities and how to design them, how to effectively execute them, and why they are important. Because obviously, to all of you, in your most favorite, most memorable classes, they were really activity based and getting students involved and hands on. That's what I loved about, I think, my favorite classes. So yeah, today we are going to first talk about the importance of using classroom activities and why that's so important in our context. The second, we're going to talk about how to effectively design classroom activities, and then how to effectively execute classroom activities, and finally, common challenges that you might approach. Um, so knowing how to effectively design and execute classroom activities is absolutely critical to your success in the classroom. I think an activity-based classroom is ideal for keeping your students engaged and motivated and inspired, always ready to learn. Moreover, having classroom activities is a great way for students to practice what they've learned in an intense and meaningful way, something that's fun for them, but also fun for you, and it's encouraging. When you feel good, your students feel good. That's what I've learned over the past year of teaching. And so let's get started. I'm going to pass out to all of you a slip of paper, and on one side it's going to have a number, which will be a key point, and we'll go around and read them throughout our discussion. And the other side has a classroom scenario, which we'll use in the second part, and we'll discuss those scenarios together. So, okay, first, who has key point number 1? All right, go ahead and read it. Classroom activities are an important part of every EFL classroom. They create situations where students can use English in a playful situation. Activities allow opportunities to use English repeatedly and to build good habits from the structures provided. Okay, great, thanks. So I'm going to add a little to that, and then anyone can ask questions or add comments to why you think having classroom activities in your class are important or what you've experienced so far during SI. So first of all, especially in TFC, we're always striving to have a classroom that has student-centered teaching. It's about the students' actions, the students' motivations, the students' activities during class. And so having activities and games during class is by definition student-centered because it's fun for them, keeps them involved and motivated. So in turn, if you have a student-centered classroom, we've talked about this in FOP class, I think SVT class as well. If it's student-centered and activity-based, the COA, culture of achievement, in your class will probably increase because the students are going to be more enthusiastic about learning. Quickly, let's review. Who can tell me what culture of achievement is, what a high culture of achievement means, what goes into that? Yeah, exactly. A high COA, high culture of achievement, is when students are excited to learn. They're coming to the classroom ready to be there every day, happy to be there. You can sense it in the classroom. Students are happy with the teacher, happy with their classmates, trust the teacher and their classmates. And remember, in TFC, we've developed this measure of COA, which is we measure it through urgency, through joy, and through relationships. And so going back to today's discussion on activities, if you have an activity-based classrooms, I think your students' joy is going to be a lot greater. They're going to be excited about learning. They're going to be excited about building relationships with their classmates, with you as their teacher.